Obviously, you're taught to protect our industry, protect the business, and you being in this for as long as you have, ingrained in you.
Yeah.
And now you've been put in a situation character-wise where you've not only had to protect the business, but protect this character that has become so sacred. So it's second nature for you. You get up in the morning, you wash your face, you brush your teeth, you comb your hair, you protect the character, you protect the business, and now all of a sudden, bam, it's so different for you. And even I find myself too saying to myself, we shouldn't be doing this.
Yeah.
We shouldn't be saying this. This is too much. And then I have to realize that the industry has changed with what we're willing to show and or protect. And I guess just going with the flow.
Yeah,
People do enjoy it.
The one thing that's helped me is when I retired. I retired half of my character. The hat, the coat, that whole side of the Undertaker, I retired. I kind of retained the American badass kind of part of it, the one that actually can relate to people, and so that helps me because I will not jeopardize that part of my legacy, and it frustrates a lot of people who want to do business with me because they want that. That's what they want.
Sure.
They want obviously that's the hat, the coat is synonymous. When you hear Undertaker, that's what you envision. And the fact now that I'm at a point where I absolutely will not put it back on. That's how I protect that. I can't imagine, even to this day, with the way everything is put out there for everybody to see, I could not do it. There's absolutely no way that I could do it, like sell something or do an ad with a hat and a coat. I just there's no way.
At the end of the day, we always talk about the only thing that's real in our industry is the money. And you've had an incredible career, very lucrative, obviously. But is there anything? Is there that stupid number? Is there that ridiculous offer that somebody could come to you with and go, here, put the jacket and the hat on one last time? I don't need to know a number. I'm just curious, is there a number?
No, I don't think. Look, the only way that I could put the hat and the coat back on would actually have to be, I'd have to get back in the ring. And I can't do that. I can't do that either because that also jeopardizes the legacy. Because as much as I have here and as much as I have here, I know that the tank is there's not enough left in the tank to do that.
And I respect that so much because as a fan of rock and roll, all of my favorite bands who swore to me that if they ever broke up, they would never, that would be the end of the band, or this is the final tour. I mean, Kiss has done about 23 final tours.
Yeah.
They always go back to it. Motley Crue, they all signed a contract to never tour again. And everybody goes back on their word because Live Nation comes at them with a ridiculous amount of money to go back on the road. So they keep doing it. And when we spoke on Busted Open, we kind of went over this a little bit, and you're giving the same answer right now. You're like, no. The answer's pretty much no. And I've told you, I don't ever need to see The Undertaker's entrance again. I'm much more intrigued by the American Badass and what you have become now. Like just sitting here talking to you or talking on Busted Open or watching the documentary on you, I'm like, yeah, okay, Undertaker, great. Been there, done that, love it. But this is a side that I've never seen before. I want to know more about this guy.
Right. And that was, I wish I could say that I had the presence of mind when I did started the American Badass that, okay, this is my exit plan and this is what people will get moving forward. Obviously I'm at a point now where, it's Mark Calloway, but yeah. I
Was the
just,
American Badass, like you hear rumors?
Mm-hmm.
Did you tell Vince, like, if I don't start doing it this way, I don't think I can do this anymore?
I thought that, so as we're entering the Attitude Era and getting, all these, the business is right there on the cusp of just taking off to this crazy place. Like, I felt stale, right? Because now I'm listening to Stone Cold cut these promos, and I'm listening to Rock cut these promos, and everything is out. There's nothing that's off the table, right? But to be true to the character of the Undertaker, like, as great as that character is, I'm somewhat handcuffed, right? Mm-hmm. Like, there's only so much that I can, if Rock is in the ring mocking me, there's only one option for me to do. That's choke slam him, and that doesn't necessarily work for the segment, right?
Right.
So I felt like I just needed a break to refreshen myself and to just kind of take the shackles off a little bit and let the other side breathe in that era. I always knew that we'd get back to it. I think we got back to it a little quicker than I would have liked, but everything worked out fine. But I just needed that break, and I looked at it too as like, this is going to be a great story because something's going to happen. Something is going to have to happen pretty catastrophically to this character to bring the other character back.
And that really reminds me of what Kiss did when they took off the makeup.
Right.
Kiss took off the makeup because they knew they needed a change.
Right.
We have to do something. But they also knew that they were going to take the makeup off just to put it back
right back
on
on.
Yeah.
one day. And it worked like a charm. And it worked up until their very last night in Madison Square Garden when they just sold out, around the world. And that's exactly how it worked out for you. And I always compare wrestling and rock and roll. I feel our two, businesses run so parallel to one another.
You're a big music guy, right?
I've always compared what we do to rock and roll as far as, the importance of the show and the
Right.
roller coaster ride and even putting matches together. I had the benefit of interviewing Gene Simmons,
Oh, really?
yeah, in studio at Busted Open. And I learned a lot from watching Kiss perform and how they would put a set list together and the flow of the show. And I always said, me and Devon went out there every single night with the intent to steal the show. I don't care if you were in the ring, Steve, Rock, you guys drew the house, but when they went home, they were going to be talking about us first. And when you went home, you talked about Kiss like, wow, what a show I saw. And that was our mentality. And Kiss would start off with Detroit Rock City and do Shout It Out Loud, and they would bring it home at Rock and Roll All Night. And for me and Devon, it was all about, the What's Up, the Get the Tables, and the 3D. Those were our hits. Those were the things that we were going to play every night so that when you went home, you bought a ticket to see The Undertaker, but holy shit, the Dudleys blew my doors off.
Yeah.
Right.
That was the mentality.
You have to have that mentality. I mean, if you don't have that mentality, you're wasting your time in this business because you're going to get left behind. Yeah, I love that, and that's something that you can't teach, and it's one of the hardest things I think for this era now is to have that type of mentality.